And
Yeah.
oh my goodness, like it can be really easy to get very excited, and sometimes that excitement can last like a couple days, where you're like, wait a minute, am I in labor? No, I don't think I'm in labor. But I thought I was in labor yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can either be the few hours of early labor, or it can be the first day. Everyone is so different. Basically, the idea is, so rather than get super hyped up and excited, go down. Or maybe if you're a totally different kind of person, maybe you need to go for a long walk. I don't really know. I don't really know what is like the absolute best thing to get to you in your best space. But you guys.
Why are you giving me that?
So y'all tell me. You guys tell me. So
I don't know that she has that space.
I'm a hard to relax kind of person.
And you guys tell me what you think. Any ideas?
I'm a pretty intense kind of person. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the calmer I get, the more excited she gets. Like,
not always.
Why aren't you more excited?
Only when we're arguing.
But when you said, your one example was, don't concentrate so much on like, okay, how dilated are you, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like that's not
more
me.
the mind. That's more like your mental. That's more your like the controller, the part of the self that's like controlling the situation.
Okay. My point is.
Or I'm sorry, mental maybe.
Summer, can you move over to there?
I don't know if I necessarily want to film this, but I'm just letting you do whatever you want to.
Yeah, and you can look at it later and make a
It's
decision.
good practice for him as a cameraman.
It
Yeah,
is.
since I won't be doing that, I feel like
Since you would be doing what?
I can be doing those things, like asking, how dilated are you, getting all amped up.
Well, it's not like I'm gonna know.
I know, but since I won't be so on top of that, I feel like you're just gonna step into that role and get really. No?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
Because a lot of stuff I've read is like that it like
Okay.
Hi, how you doing?
that it's not really important to know how far along you are, and that it can be really demoralizing. If you feel like
sometimes.
you've been like in labor for a long time and your body's been working really hard, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm only 3 centimeters. Like, oh no, because you think
I know.
it took me like 24 hours to get this far. It's going to take me
That's why
4 more days to have this baby.
relax.
So in some ways, I kind of am thinking I might be one of those women who will specifically request to not know
Yeah.
how
Okay.
far along I
Because you'll
am.
probably know when your baby's coming out.
That's what I'm thinking. Like everyone kind of knows. No, but from everything I've read, like all the birth stories and all the, your body knows, and you know when you're like, I'm ready to have the baby. And so all that's important really is to get yourself to that point, conserving as much energy as possible, right?
Yeah.
So that you
And
have
you'll
the
be
energy to birth your
fine.
baby.
Yeah. And you'll be fine, and trusting that your body knows what to do. So you're pretty relaxed about it.
I'm more relaxed about having the baby than I am about like anything else in my life ever.
Yeah. So I think in that
Which is weird.
way you are very relaxed. Like maybe you may be aware that it's difficult for you to relax in other ways, but I think on that level you trust your body and you're not worried about giving birth, and you know that your body knows what to do, and you know that you'll be fine. And
I mean, the unknown is a little bit like, woo.
yeah.
How's it all gonna go down?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also like, well, it's gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna have a baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my baby at home. I'm not gonna have painkillers.
Right.
So whatever happens, I mean, that's like, that, then whatever happens within that framework is, is good. And I think it's pretty much whatever we can do to have tools to help me, because I feel like there's probably going to be feelings and sensations and pain that I'm just like, oh shit, like this is really bad,
We do need help and support, and we do, birthing mothers do need help and support and nourishment and hands-on and, to be held and tools that are effective and that work well, and definitely.
So that's sort of where I'm coming from, is like, let's get
Yeah.
Because the hypnobirthing, not an effective tool for my toolbox.
Yeah, so we kind of like laid the groundwork of the awareness of like kind of underneath like how these tools work basically, is that we're shifting to the parasympathetic nervous system. And there's a whole set of tools there. So one of the first things is, like we mentioned before, micro movements, where like, so you can just take your hand, or maybe you might just move your head, but rest your eyes for a minute so you're not focused on anything else, but just focusing on one part of your body, whatever part of your body wants to be. I like to use my hand just as an example. And just let it be like seaweed underwater. And let, you know, whether it's your hand or your fingers or your head, or whatever, just, or your shoulder. The hand might be easier than the shoulder if there's a lot of tension in your shoulder, but the head is nice too. Let it move as though it's a piece of seaweed underwater. And it's just barely moving. So if I were to open my eyes and look at you, I might even see the movement happening. And notice as you play with that and experiment with that, notice like what is happening with your breathing. Are you obsessing over anything in your mind? Are you pretty much just in your body? What effect does it have for you? Does it work for you? Does it not work for you? What do you think?
I stopped breathing.
That's
You stop breathing.
cool. I just want to lay down now.
Cool, see?
Okay.
So there you go.
Sorry, Cooper.
There's one tool.
That sounds
The
good.
other tool is my dog.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad that we're gonna be able to have him here because
Yeah.
when I pet him,
Yeah.
petting him and snuggling with him
Yeah.
is very relaxing for
It
me.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
We're just
true.
gonna have to make sure you're tired
Yeah.
when I go into labor.
Maybe a walk in the beginning and then a resting to get that. Sometimes,
Like the core.
do you need to go up in order to go down? Or do you go down in order to go up? Like if you're going to run a marathon,
Oh no, I've never run a marathon.
like birth is like this extreme, a lot of expenditure of energy. And I often like to say, you know, go down in order to come up. So rest, eat, go inside, don't get amped up, so that you can then rise fully and use all that energy rather than getting a running start and then petering out later, right? But it just depends for you, like if you want to go for a walk and then have a rest, or you just want to start by resting. Do you know what I mean?
I think there's just gonna have to be a lot of variation. Like I feel like I'm gonna be very ADD in birth. Like I'm gonna do this, now I'm gonna do this, now I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna take a bath, I'm gonna go for a walk, I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna sit on the bouncy ball. You know, like I feel like I'm gonna be like a little child who needs constant change of scenery.
Right.
Because I'm sort of like that when I get sort of
Yeah.
amped about stuff, and I have like, when I'm like stressed out, I have trouble focusing, and I'll go from one thing to another.
So then you can remind her about a micro movement.
I really liked the,
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm just gonna keep getting closer. Sorry.
sit on the side. It's cozy there. I really liked that, and
Okay,
hand like
good.
seaweed that was good.
Okay, good.
I was like, oh, I could just lay down and keep letting my seaweed hand
That's
like move
awesome.
around, you know,
That's
that's,
awesome. Good.
I like that.
So you're in your
That's
body.
good.
You're not having to analyze it or think about it.
Yeah.
So also diaphragmatic breathing. So you can just bring your hands to your belly and
It's
just
so hard now that there's a baby in there.
yeah. Or you might do the
'Cause I
hyoid.
can't feel it like I used to.
Yeah. But what you can feel is your baby being rocked.
What I like to think about is when I'm breathing, because I have a hard time with breathing, with breath, like I'm a breath holder, is I like to think about breathing in a white light that like feel like my body was just like hollow. Like it fills up my body, you know, and it comes in and like it encircles my baby and it gives a little squeeze and makes him giggle.
Sweet.
And then it sort of goes down through my toes, and then when I exhale, any sort of like pain or tension comes out through my feet, and it looks like black smoke.
Sweet.
And it goes out the window, and then it is
Nice.
neutralized.
I love that.
It's courtesy
I
of my
love that.
acupuncturist back in
Yeah.
DC.
Yeah, that's like Reiki too. Yeah, that's
And so
great.
that's like one that's the only breath thing that really works for
So
me.